Hello everybody, welcome to Cape Rugby TV. It's Wednesday night and we talk about what's happening in the world of Western Province Club Rugby. Certainly not much happening at the moment, and as we've said before, as we get the information we will share it with you as it comes in. We're not going to be able to talk about fixtures, we're not going to be able to talk about league matches. We'll talk about some of the implications with regards to the water restrictions a little bit later during the show, but we will still talk club rugby because there is still a lot to go on, and we will talk general rugby. There's clubs that are going to the High Performance Centre, there are clubs that are going to coaching courses, sevens courses, strength and conditioning courses, there's box smart, there's women's development, so there's a lot of rugby activity. It's maybe just not happening for 80 minutes on a Saturday. We're going to talk about that to my panel members, who I will introduce to you in a second. But in the meantime, of course, big thank you to Hisense, that's on board with Cape Rugby TV as our official technical partner. Score Energy Drinks. Well, Score Energy Drinks will stay involved, and of course, you've got to make sure that whatever sporting activity you're doing, from your strength and conditioning exercise, that you get your score in. Nice way to save on the water. And of course, Sport SA on board with Cape Rugby TV now as well. You can get your discount there if you use the coupon code Cape Rugby TV. Dulux Maitland, number 30 Kuberg Road. And of course, don't forget Colortone. Colortone, your paint and timber treatment specialist. With me on the show then this evening, Lyndon Julius.
Hi, good evening, JP. Good evening to all the viewers out there. And yeah, it's we had a bit of sort of start of rain, so I think that's the start of more to come, hopefully.
Jerome, nice to have you back.
Yeah, JP, it's good to be back. It seems like only 2 days ago. The weeks go so quickly.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, that's probably because you were watching the Saturday show as well.
Maybe.
You come on the Wednesday.
I'm a bit confused.
Yeah.
Okay.
You come on the Wednesday and then you watch it on Saturday on the repeat show, and then you probably watched it on YouTube yesterday. So yeah, I know what you guys are like. You come on TV on the Wednesday, and then you watch yourself again. You tape it on DSTV, and then you go home and play it back.
And then we share it on Facebook. And
of
we
course,
share
Lyndon,
it,
you weren't here last week, which meant that you were watching us from another angle.
I was, yeah. It was quite weird. Some people were thinking that I was, because when you introduced, people were sending me messages and thinking that I was on. So I'm not sure that's good or bad. But yeah, it was good to be seeing Jerome and Labib obviously speak on all things coaching courses and development in rugby.
Yeah, folks, I suppose the big news then today is the fact that there is a moratorium at the moment on all club rugby friendlies, league matches, sevens, tens, anything with the idea of conserving water. That is what has to happen. So Western Province Rugby has now said, guys, you must pause on all the ideas. And of course, that gives us an opportunity to kind of regroup and rethink the activities. But certainly from a Cape Rugby point of view, the ball keeps rolling. As you know, we rolled right through November, December, and January. We still spoke about club rugby. We still spoke about coaches. We still spoke about players. We still spoke about players and coaches that made up the world of club rugby. And of course, there is a heck of a lot of off-season, pre-season training. Don't forget, there's the Super Sport Challenge, there's the Varsity Cup, and of course, Super Rugby. The Stormers are hitting the field soon. We'll take a look at their fixtures. So there certainly is enough rugby to talk about. And for those of you that are not sure how to keep your club busy, I mean, that's the key thing now, is making sure that your club guys still have activity, because you want to make sure that you're still opening the doors to those clubs. So we'll talk about some of that a little bit later. Well, one of the clubs that, of course, was still planning on having a fixture on Saturday, but from what I understand, that fixture now will have to be terminated, was Helderberg. Lyndon, the last information we had was, this was of course the news that Western Province had put a moratorium on all rugby, and we don't have anyone officially from Western Province, so we're just going to keep it at that there's a moratorium on rugby. We're not going to talk too deep about it. Yeah,
I think that just from a governance and a legal point of view, or not legal, but like a governance point of view, I just think it's very important that the clubs understand that Western Province, the union, holds the decision. And I think that's a very good point to look at, to learn from this.
Jerome, let's go to you now. If we look at the fact that basically we don't have much happening in the world of club rugby, and I suppose things are going to now call it, we'll have to wait and see. I mean, who knows, maybe tomorrow there's a different plan. Maybe I have to travel a little bit out of Cape Town. I think the moratorium is around the severe drought areas. but there are still other districts that are busy with activities and so on. So the majority of club rugby activity now revolves around HPC, Super Sport Challenge, the Varsity Cup, and so forth. What are you guys busy with at a high performance center? I think this is one of the things that we were talking about last week.
Yeah, we started last week. We started with a group of players, and we continue with them this week. So we will continue with them, and now that it's official, we can actually include more guys, get more guys in.
Yeah.
Because on the 24th of March, Boland Currie Cup side asked me for a sort of Western Province emerging team to play against them, and SWD also asked. So in the past, all the clubs, they're busy, they're playing friendlies, and they don't want to send their guys. So the guys can actually come now, and we can still work with them. So we can still continue with what we normally do at the HPC.
Yeah.
And I also think for the coaches now, we can put more work in with the coaches also, coming in to come and work, or just have some workshops with the Super Rugby coaches and the Currie Cup coaches, and come if it's only a few months, then it's June, then they have it. There's no excuse for them not to come to the HPC anymore. So there's a lot of other activities we can do.
I mean, in the past, those were one of your big challenges. Maybe now there's sort of call it a blessing in disguise. I mean, not that there's any blessing in this water restriction, but in the past you must have struggled with getting players to HPC. Maybe struggle with talent identification, struggle with getting coaches. Because I know you always, I know you've had ups and downs, but filling a room with coaches was never that easy.
Yeah, that's why I say, it's like you say, it's not a blessing, but there's no excuse for anybody not to come and attend the sessions now. And they can actually plan better now. They've got more time now, because what we're going to do, we can give them a weekly schedule, a monthly schedule, and what they can do, and how to manage their team. And we'll also bring in the managers to sharpen them up on their managerial skills. So there's a lot of things that we couldn't do in the past, because we know everything was such a rush, and the guys need to play. The club want their players. The coaches can't come because they're busy, and so I don't see there can be any excuses now. So we'll still continue.
Lennon, your thoughts?
Yeah, I think I'm just thinking about this now, and I think the fact that there's a month or two, or maybe 3 months where there's no club rugby fixtures going to be fulfilled or going to be played as it stands at the moment, I just think that the coaches can then, like Jerome says, can be sharpened. So the coaching department at the union can now implement a bit more of the coaching courses, not just your level 1 and 2, but you can have live scrumming sessions. The guys can go out to see the Stormers train and see the guys at the Currie Cup
I think
team.
that's all up to Western Province.
Okay, obviously that's up to them.
Great idea.
But I think you have about 110 coaches. You can spread them out, split them up into various groups. And have them
more than that. You're probably more like 700 or 800 coaches. If we look at the numbers, you got 110
clubs.
110 clubs. You've got a first team, a second team, a third team, and 21. So that's already 440 coaches. And then you maybe got a front, backs, forwards.
Director.
So probably looking at more than 1,000 coaches.
But it's exactly what he's saying, and I mean I have sort of a plan already. So you can start with from Super C or downwards. And work it up to Super B, Super A, and do a whatever. If it's a defense session on a Wednesday, then the following Wednesday the other guys come in, and then later on you do. So there's a lot of things you can do.
One of the things that we put on Facebook, because I think the question is now, what are the clubs going to do? I think the big fear for everybody is are they going to lose their players? Are the clubs going to close down altogether? So folks, we actually put it on Facebook. We call it the Club Rugby Activity Grid. Okay, so this is where these are some of the options that you have. In fact, you'll see it on the screen here, but you need to tell us what it is that you think. We're going to take a look at the strength and conditioning courses and the 7s and the 15s in a second, and we'll show you the scheduled dates there is of course on the Western Province Club Rugby website. We posted that today. We need you to share some of your ideas because I think you want to make sure that your players are staying busy. So we gave a couple of options, and you can see the pictures here on the screen. But you need to tell us on Facebook, www.facebook.com/Cape Rugby TV. So the options that you got, number 1, travel to play. Number 2, gym workouts. Number 3, functional training sessions. Number 4, martial arts training sessions. That's, of course, the kind of tip, wrestle, defensive movements, and so on. Video sessions. Why not do lots of video sessions? Community activities. I've already spoken to some of the guys in the club space who are saying they get their guys together on a Tuesday and a Thursday, and they're going to maybe jog around the community. And neighborhood patrol, not neighborhood patrol, but, jog around the neighborhood.
Club awareness.
30 big rugby guys. I can tell you the neighborhood's going to be quiet for a while. Like I said, team jogs, beach training sessions, and then one of my last options here, yoga sessions.
I wouldn't mess with a guy
I've had a couple of yoga sessions and I nearly died. No. It will take it flat on you. No. But let's take a look at some of those options. Travel to play, number 1. Teams, a lot of the teams were doing this pre-season anyway. We were doing those team building sessions. They were getting in a bus and they were driving up the west coast. Okay, the more fortunate teams get to go further away to Durban or overseas even. Travel to play, is that an option?
Yeah, I've spoken to Clinton van Rensburg. He's coaching Villages, and he said that they're planning to play Hamilton St. George.
Okay, well, there you go.
That's a good one.
George has got enough water, yeah.
That's a very great way to take out
travel to play.
Yeah.
So nothing stops you to go and ask any club in Boland, but it can be 2 Western Province clubs. Can we come and play a friendly at your?
I think that's actually a good thing to go and look at. You normally have 4 or 5 friendlies. So now you just make the 3 friendlies, and you have 4 other clubs join you. You share the bus cost or the travel cost, and you all drive down for the weekend, and you incorporate your training camp, and you end it off with a 3 or 4 matches. You play Montague, or you go to Robertson, or up the west coast, or even George for that matter. It's a 3-hour drive, 4-hour drive, bus drive. And it really builds your team, and also you as clubs then share ideas. And the more club rugby guys are talking, the more creative ideas will come forward. And you'll have guys like say, "Oh, guys, we've got a yoga
essentially,
center."
At the moment, what we know is that we've got to get to June.
Yeah.
So what are we talking about?
3 months.
Yeah, well,
March, April, May, June.
March, April, May. 12 weeks.
12 weeks.
12 weeks before. And who knows? And like we say, maybe the next few weeks already the fields recover just a little bit, and maybe Western Province releases the opportunity for folks to practice, so we can get back to practice maybe in a month. Who knows?
Ease that into it, yeah. I also think that the club shouldn't wait now for the union to I think what we put out on Facebook to say what the clubs are doing. I think that's a good way to get the conversation going and keep clubs doing and going forward with activities, because you don't know, it might be next week then the province say, guys, you guys can go to practice. Now your club is all over the place.
You've got to stay connected.
You've got to keep them together. I think or it could be tomorrow, JP. It could be tomorrow where the union says, guys, we've got this problem solved. We've got water from somewhere. We're going to water every field in the province. Practice can go ahead. Now you don't want to be practicing and then you only have 5 people. Then you're back to where you were in the beginning of the season.
We're going to get back to basics now. It's going to be community sport, and we'll see whether or not you have an affinity to come visit your club.
We'll see if the tagline community really pulls through at some clubs within the union throughout this time of challenging time that we're facing.
We've said it time and time again, a club is there to look after the community. Now, more than ever, it's important that the club's administrators actually prove why they are club administrators.
But the clubs say they don't pay their players.
Oh, well, apparently, apparently, yes. No, that's true. Okay, so we've got travel to play as one option. Jerome, let's go back. You made a little video for us here. Let's take a quick look at what it is that you are getting up to at HPC. This is now your second week. Jerome, okay, guys running on the field. Last week you showed us a lot of activity of the boys in the gym. Just talk us a little bit through this, and maybe just give us a little bit of background as well for the folks that just tuned in for the first time now. Folks, we are coming back to the player grid, at least the activity grid. That comes up in a second or so again. So remember, it is on Facebook. You're going to tell us your options. Jerome, just give us again for the folks that are just watching, because we're going to be following you every week with this program. These kids that you got there now, where are they from, and what are your intentions with these guys?
Yeah, we've got the guys are from Langa, Nyanga, Guguletu, Kailicha, so it's all dead clubs, and we asked the coaches to sort of send us 5 or 6 of their best players, which they did. So we currently busy with 25 players, and every week more players come. Hopefully by the next session we'll have 35 players, but yeah, last week was just the start. It was first we did a baseline skin folds and normal testing.
There was a bit of testing
in the gym, see how strong the guys are. And this week we did on-field stuff. A lot of running.
Okay, so the video we were just looking at now is now moved out of the gym onto the field.
Yeah, out of the gym onto the field this week. A lot of running, and we did some basic passing and skills just to incorporate them with the ball. And next week they're going to the gym again, so we'll introduce them with other stuff in the gym. So every second week will be field and gym, field and gym. So that's what we do with these guys.
Do they come every week or every second week?
Every week.
Every week? How many times a week?
They come once a week.
Okay.
But I was also talking to them. We're just waiting for what was happening with Western Province now, but now it's sort of official, so we can bring them in twice a week. So we're going to bring them in twice a week now, from not next week, the week after.
All right. So and how do the transport or support-wise, any other kind of factors? I mean,
yeah. We have a minibus at Western Province, and actually the guy that's he helped me with that. Get the guys here is John Ginokwe, the ex-Springbok. So he picked them up and bring them to the HPC every training session.
So the guys are obviously, they've got the resources that the Stormers have as well. They've got the same gym facilities.
Everything.
They've got Rifat Japi there, John Ginokwe, yourself. So it really looks like these guys, from the video that we've seen, it looks like these guys are really passionate about this program. Obviously, it's a sport that they enjoy, but they're passionate about the program, and that shows that the program is working for them and towards them. It's not just because most programs like this, you find that it's a bit too far for them, but it looks like there's a balance between professional and a club player, so you can see that there's not too much pressure on the player to perform at a professional level.
All right, we as I said, so Jerome, let's just move to some of the activities. In fact, folks, time for us to take an ad break. When we come back from the break, we'll take a look at the calendar for the Western Province Strength and Conditioning courses. Back in a sec. Get down to Dulux Maitland for colour matching and free assessments, where we meet all your paint and contract requirements. We offer fast tinting turnaround time, free delivery and on-site assessments tailor-made to your contract or domestic specifications. Our staff are highly skilled at writing site specs to help you offer your client the best service. Our Dulux Rock Grip range is cost-effective and comes with a 7-year guarantee on all Dulux Rock Grip products. Visit us at 30 Coburg Road, Maitland, and you could win a contractor's trailer valued at 15,000 Rand.
Colour Tone is to wood what a good moisturiser is to skin. Tried and tested, Colour Tone is the ideal timber treatment for all timber. From windows to doors, decks to floors, chairs to stairs, Colour Tone is your timber treatment of choice. When you see what a great job Colour Tone does with wood, you may be tempted to use it on your skin, but don't. Ask for Colour Tone at your nearest hardware store, preserving your wood, protecting our children. Colour Tone, the ultimate lead-free timber treatment for all wood.
All right, welcome back, everybody. It's Cape Rugby TV. It's Wednesday night, and as you know, tonight is a slightly different show. We're not talking about any fixtures. We're not talking about any friendlies. Most of that has been postponed. In fact, all of it has been postponed within the boundaries of a Western Province. So there's currently a moratorium. Everything is on pause, basically. All right, so we'll talk to you more about that as the information comes in. But it's not to say that club rugby doesn't continue. One of the things that Western Province Rugby is continuing with is, of course, the strength and conditioning courses. Let's take a look at some of the dates of these courses. Then we'll speak to Mr. Parvater about what happens at these courses. So on the 21st of March, there's a course at the High Performance Centre in Bellville. Tracksuits is the dress code, 250 Rand, and of course you've got to make sure that you've sorted that out a week before the course. And then there's a second part of the course, and that is on the 28th of March, and then at least course 2, put it that way, and then course 2 has a second part, and that's on the 4th of April. So there's quite a bit of time for you to still get in the mix there, so to speak. Jerome, just talk to us a little bit here about the strength and conditioning courses. In fact, we've got a little video here to illustrate what strength and conditioning from a functional fitness point of view looks like. Just to give you a rough idea, let's take a look. Right, some functional training there. Jerome, if we look at that, some of the things we saw, and we know you've got the strength and conditioning courses coming up now, starting on the 21st of March. Also, again, at the High Performance Centre. What we saw there with people working with battle ropes, medicine balls, the rubber bands around the legs, which I think is very much for hip and core strength. But there's a whole host of different things. We've seen it before. In fact, we will show you another video clip shortly of some of the teams and their functional training that has been taking place. But functional training can be a wide variety of things. It's as long as it's functional to the body. Is this the kind of things you guys will be looking at during the strength and conditioning courses?
Yeah, that's what the conditioning coaches is going to focus on exactly, or a lot more of this stuff, because that's basically the most important aspect of the game to get the guys ready for the season. So the conditioning coaches, they actually start the whole pre-season. They start the thing. So it's a very important aspect of the game, and it's the first time that Western Province are actually doing a strength and conditioning course. Stefan, the Stormers strength and conditioning coach, normally have club coaches in and conditioning coaches in, and they have a talk to them. But this is a World Rugby. It's like the level 1 and the level 2. So it's a strength and conditioning on World Rugby, and you get to level 1 where they're doing now, and then the next is level 2, which they're gonna do. So it's very important aspect of the game. But
this is not just casual stuff. This has been scientifically sorted out. This is not just guys we're going to run and pick up something heavy. This is actually it looks like someone has just chosen to flip a tire, but behind that there's some clinical studies in terms of it's scientific.
Yeah, it's scientific. I mean, it's the whole body, and in level 1, it's where they focus a lot on the body and how to use your body weight and how you can incorporate the tire flip and the right technique. It's a lot about technique and how to use your body weight in certain things. Yeah.
Let's go back to our activity grid. Lyndon Julius, I think I've now shared that grid with you. It is, of course, on Facebook. Right, so our activity grid so far talks about, as you know, as I've said, it's on Facebook right now. A1 was travel to play, gym workouts. Okay, that's obviously, of course, where you're in the gym. There you see it now on the screen. Gym workouts, and we'll stay with the top line at the moment. Gym workouts and functional training. So if we look at that from a from a field perspective so far on the gym workout space, Lyndon. And I don't think we want to focus too much on gym workouts, but of course the players have still got those zone gym memberships.
Yep.
So the clubs can go and do, if you're lucky enough to have a club where there's a gym, you can still go to gym and do quite a lot of a group activity in a gym.
Yeah, I think that there's also like rekindles or just reminds clubs that the Zone Fitness partnership is still there, you know, where they can still go and do it. And then at some clubs where there is a gym where you can do your activities. And what I like about the grid was the two hashtags on there, staying active and save water. I think that is definitely what it is. You know, the two go hand in hand for us Cape Town sports people. I think that is very important for us to be focusing on right now. So we're not being active, and we're also not saving water. So I think that's a balance that we'll strike. I think we'll get it right in the Cape Club rugby space in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, I certainly think so. And then, of course, with the first two options, you're still not on the field. You are saving water. Yep. Then, of course, the functional training, and we saw that now. So the functional training you can do on the side of the field. You don't necessarily have to be on the field. You can do it in the parking lot. I think some of the clips we saw in the video there, you saw it in the parking lot there as well. There's certainly enough YouTube videos around that shows people training outside of a gym, because you need space to move. I mean, Jerome, you've done enough functional training, sprinting hills, for example, flipping the tire on the pavement.
You can go to the beach.
You can go to the beach. Okay, beach training is coming up. All right, folks, we're going to take an ad break. When we come back, we'll come back to our grid. And, of course, we will take a look at what's our next categories. Of course, the level 1 sevens coaching courses. That's also coming up in a sec. Get down to Dulux Maitland for color matching and free assessments, where we meet all your paint and contract requirements. We offer fast tinting turnaround time, free delivery, and on-site assessments tailor-made to your contract or domestic specifications. Our staff are highly skilled at writing site specs to help you offer your client the best service. Our Dulux Rock Grip range is cost-effective and comes with a 7-year guarantee on all Dulux Rock Grip products. Visit us at 30 Coburg Road, Maitland, and you could win a contractor's trailer valued at 15,000 Rand.
Colour Tone is to wood what a good moisturiser is to skin. Tried and tested, Colour Tone is the ideal timber treatment for all timber. From windows to doors, decks to floors, chairs to stairs, Colour Tone is your timber treatment of choice. When you see what a great job Colour Tone does with wood, you may be tempted to use it on your skin, but don't. Ask for Colour Tone at your nearest hardware store, preserving your wood, protecting our children. Colour Tone, the ultimate lead-free timber treatment for all wood.
Right, welcome back everybody. It's Cape Rugby TV. Right, going back to our grid here. Option B1 then, martial arts. Jerome, you've done martial arts. We've seen it at the Stormers. We talk martial arts, you're talking about wrestling, they do boxing. There has been karate involved there, more in the full contact, because those guys work quite a lot with bag works and pushing and body weight and so forth. You've also had guys doing jiu-jitsu training. So martial arts is a fantastic way to keep the players busy as well.
Yeah, in JP, there's a lot of people out there that you can actually use in your community. Yeah. There's guys karate, there's guys who's doing boxing, there's guys who's doing all sorts of sports, all sorts of those things that you're talking about. So there's a lot of people out there that they can actually use, clubs can actually use.
Well, I mean, we were just talking about earlier on, and things like, so yes, I like that. I like the idea that you can bring in even more people from the community to get involved. Let's talk about the next one here, Lyndon, and maybe you can comment on this, because this is the kind of thing we also need to be getting used to. Yeah. And this is number B2 now on our grid, video sessions.
Yeah.
There is nothing wrong with calling the team in to come and watch all the video sessions that they might get hold of. And Labib was talking about this last week, that it's on YouTube, you've got other games, there's so much that you can learn from doing video sessions. Yeah. And maybe this is a good time for the players to come to a club. Everybody's got a TV, or you can get a TV, someone bring a TV, put it up, do a video session about matches, drills, it's good for your concentration. Everybody getting together, you have a cool drink.
Yeah, I think what Labib mentioned last week also was saying that with technology these days, you know, everyone's on the WhatsApp. The coaches pops the video into the WhatsApp group of all the players or all the coaches. You have a discussion there. So when you come to the session, you are prepared already. So then you can say, okay, guys, let us look at where we've gone wrong in, say, for example, in the lineout. Yeah. So now I can talk through that and say, okay, guys, this is it. Then you can sort of map out a playbook for you for the year, or you can just generally just sharpen up your law skills around certain aspects of certain aspects of, because we don't have the time to do that, because when preseason kicks in, it's training, it's the body, it's getting the mind right, it's getting the friendlies, and before we know it, we are halfway through the season. Whereas your captains or your leaders or your general first team or second team players, they don't really know what the law is around the ruck. There's about 75 or 85 laws just around the ruck, for example. So now you've got to sort of educate your players around, okay guys, this is it. So you're getting a referee or you're getting an educator on the law, and they speak through this. You have the video session, you have the clips up, so you can sort of discuss and chat.
I think as we go along, and a lot of the clubs are wondering, and they're watching us right now and asking, okay, hang on, we're learning now, we're getting some ideas. So what we actually need to do is, folks, if some of these ideas are good for you, then start making notes, and actually don't let it slip away from you. Create a calendar. Write a calendar up and say, right, guys, we're actually going to do some of these things. We're going to do on a Tuesday, we're going to do a video session. On a Thursday, we're going to do a martial arts session. On a, what else we got? And then we're going to travel at the end of the month. These things, put it in a calendar. You will keep yourself busy for 12 weeks easily. A lot of ideas coming up. We're going to take an ad break, and when we come back from the break, we'll take a look at what's happening in the world of sevens coaching. Jerome's going to tell us more. Get down to Dulux Maitland for color matching and free assessments, where we meet all your paint and contract requirements. We offer fast tinting turnaround time, free delivery, and on-site assessments tailor-made to your contract or domestic specifications. Our staff are highly skilled at writing site specs to help you offer your client the best service. Our Dulux Rock Grip range is cost-effective and comes with a 7-year guarantee on all Dulux Rock Grip products. Visit us at 30 Coburg Road, Maitland, and you could win a contractor's trailer valued at 15,000 Rand.
Colour Tone is to wood what a good moisturiser is to skin. Tried and tested, Colour Tone is the ideal timber treatment for all timber. From windows to doors, decks to floors, chairs to stairs, Colour Tone is your timber treatment of choice. When you see what a great job Colour Tone does with wood, you may be tempted to use it on your skin, but don't. Ask for Colour Tone at your nearest hardware store, preserving your wood, protecting our children. Colour Tone, the ultimate lead-free timber treatment for all wood.
Hello everybody, I'm JP Nordia from Cape Rugby TV, and if you are looking for any apparel, rugby boots, footwear, etc., then Save SA Sport website is where you want to go to, www.savesasport.com, and if you use the coupon code Cape Rugby TV, you'll get 20% off any rugby boots, footwear or apparel from brands like Puma, Mizuno, Canterbury, New Balance and Asics. They've got pretty much everything that you need. 20% off your purchase on www.savesasport.com, and remember, just use the coupon code Cape Rugby TV. Free delivery anywhere in South Africa with purchases over 750 Rand. That's again, put in the coupon code Cape Rugby TV and you get 20% discount off any of your products at www.savesasport.com. Welcome back, everybody. Not on the grid, but I can tell you one of my favorite ideas is to run the boot camp challenge. And that is to do a boot camp challenge every Tuesday and Thursday at your club. Use your functional training equipment and create a boot camp challenge. We'll call it the Cape Rugby TV Boot Camp Challenge. And we'll come out and film your boot camp challenges as you're hitting your straps. I think running a boot camp challenge with all sorts of different physical activities, whatever it might be, that's something that I quite like.
I just love saying that word, boot camp.
I like it. Well, it's rugby boots, and incidentally, if you want to buy rugby boots at a very affordable price, a 20% discount, then savesasport.co.za is where you need to go to, all right? You need apparel, you need boots, you need, there's all sorts of fantastic sports gear on www.savesasport.com. Go check out the website and just use the Cape Rugby TV coupon code, Cape Rugby TV. You get 20% off everything online, from rugby boots to footwear and apparel, and of course you just enter that coupon code. Remember, anything above 750 Rand, and it's a free delivery. All right, so you might want to go get some gear. I don't know. Lyndon, are you planning on buying any gear soon?
Well, maybe. I don't know. Whoever's watching might just hold me accountable to it, so I'm not going to say.
Well, if you do plan on doing it, get the coupon code.
I'll definitely do so.
Yeah.
I'll definitely
Use the coupon code Cape Rugby TV. All right. Okay, Jerome, Sevens coaching is, of course, or Sevens rugby, as we know, is massive. And I'm sure that by the end of winter, we will be ready. Hopefully all the water is kind of sorted out the fields, and we got the SCORE Western Province Club Rugby Sevens tournament happening again, hopefully. And by then, you want your 7 coaches to be coaching skilled. You've got some coaching courses coming up. Yeah, let's quickly look at the dates. We'll go back to Jerome in a sec. Friday the 23rd of February. Again, pretty much the same rules apply. 19th of Feb, that's coming up now, next week, Monday or Tuesday, so you've got to make sure that you got your application forms in. But on the 23rd of Feb, from 1:30 through to 8:30, tracksuits, it's only 250 Rand for the course, folks. And then there's another one on the 25th of May, and then on the 14th of July, and again on the 12th of October. So a number of Sevens coach. Jerome, how will we do with the Sevens coaching courses?
Yeah, I think that's one area where guys can really step in and attend these courses more. That's one area where we don't get a lot of coaches in at the Sevens, but hopefully this year, because it is World Rugby accreditation. You get accreditation for this, and you never know how long Neil Powell is still going to be with the Blitzbox. So if you don't do this, you can't go for an interview at SA Rugby to get the Sevens job. So they must come and do this courses so that they can.
That's one way. That's one way. That's one way of selling the course. I really like the way that he's selling the course, because now he's saying that Neil Powell might leave after the Commonwealth. I don't know.
Yeah.
No, I'm not saying that.
No,
I'm just saying it's important to do.
All right, let's go to back to our grid. As we mentioned, right, community activities was one of the options. Community activities. Lyndon, I mean, we spoke about. Again, if I go back, was it Janine?
Yeah,
at
Janine.
St. George's.
Janine, yeah.
And we spoke to. We've spoken to Nolene. Why not community activities? Like I said, what is wrong with taking the team for a walk around the block, for around in your local community? There's so much that you can do. Again, if you want to even take it a step further, why not turn it into a CSI development project? Get all your players together, and on a Tuesday and Thursday, you go and paint the local creche. There's so much that you can do. But what about Tuesday and Thursday, get some of the kids out there and give them each a hot dog?
Yeah, there's so many old age homes as well within our communities, where you find, like, within stone's throw of where the fields are, or as players drive towards the field, you find creches, you find schools, you find old age homes, you find just the general neighborhood or the environment where the club is based. You have 30 or 40 guys, on a Tuesday night. You come to the field. You have tactics. You do a run.
I'm just thinking that. Sorry to interrupt you, but I'm just thinking that if we had to go to Dulux Maitland at number 30 Kuberg Road and ask them for a tub of paint, a tub of Dulux paint, and we donate that paint to a club, and you say, guys, this Tuesday night you're going to go paint that creche's wall.
I tell you now, if you give it to St. George's, we'll find a creche or old age home to paint.
I'm going to hold you to that.
That's fine. I'll speak to Janine tomorrow, and I'll get on the line.
Somebody will be happy to have their walls painted.
And I mean, there's a lot of Rangers in South State, those who do brilliant work with the soup kitchen that they've got. I know of Amadeus, with Tariq being there as well. They'll also reach out to the community. There's soup kitchens all over the province, all over the union, where you find that guys that have a soup kitchen, or they hand out clothes, or they hand out. There's just a general drive towards helping your fellow man. And I think like we said earlier in the show, this 3 months or 2 months might actually be, like you said, a blessing in disguise.
Coming up with some real get back to stuff. You know, I mentioned this before.
It's not about 80 minutes on a Saturday.
Nelson Mandela said sport has the ability to change a nation. Yeah. This is one of those opportunities where you have the opportunity to prove it.
Yeah.
Is that, you know, think about the fact that, you know, we were talking now about crime. There's serious social evils, and I believe sports people are strong people. They're generally are hungry to win.
Yeah.
They don't get bullied easily because they're always wanting to win.
Yeah.
You take 30-40 rugby guys and you walk them around the neighborhood like a neighborhood watch patrol on a Tuesday or Thursday for a quick session around there. It'll be a very quiet neighborhood.
Psychologists believe that it takes 21 days to learn a habit. I think now this time there's a lot of 21 days that we can have where you can beef up your club, where it's just not about the winning culture on a Saturday afternoon, but you actually create that culture, a better culture that you already have. You build on that and you go, guys, when next year come, when your preseason starts, your preseason starts with is where your community activities is built into there, where your coaching courses is built into there, where clubs that are part of the HPC program, it's built into there, where you have guys, you know, guys. Remember last year when we didn't have activities, this community activity kept us going, or you know, that kind of thing. So I think that is
so what,
a great
21
time.
days to build a habit.
To build a habit.
All right. I want to know how long does it take to break a habit.
I think 2 hours.
21 years. There's some bad habits I've got. I still can't get rid of them.
Your golf is not a bad habit. You just got to practice. You just have to practice. Morgan said you just have to practice. That's all. It's not a bad habit. You just got to practice.
It's a bad habit. The bad habit is there that I actually go play. Every 5 years. All right, we're going to take an ad break. When we come back from the ad break, folks, I'm going to give you more information about how you can win yourself this Hisense mobile phone. It's the H7S Pure Shot mobile phone with 16 gigs of ROM, octa-core processor, a durable battery, and of course 2 SIM cards. I love this phone. But right now, if you want to win yourself a case of Score energy drinks, all right, 33090. That's all you need to do is SMS the word SCORE to 33090. You put yourself in the mix to win a case of Score energy drinks. Congratulations to last week's winner, David Slater. David, someone from Cape Rugby TV is going to get in touch with you shortly. You walk away with a case of Score energy drinks. In fact, you can see it on my shirt right here. All right, we'll take an ad break. We'll be back in a sec. Get down to Dulux Maitland for color matching and free assessments, where we meet all your paint and contract requirements. We offer fast tinting turnaround time, free delivery, and on-site assessments tailor-made to your contract or domestic specifications. Our staff are highly skilled at writing site specs to help you offer your client the best service. Our Dulux Rock Grip range is cost-effective and comes with a 7-year guarantee on all Dulux Rock Grip products. Visit us at 30 Coburg Road, Maitland, and you could win a contractor's trailer valued at 15,000 Rand.
Colour Tone is to wood what a good moisturiser is to skin. Tried and tested, Colour Tone is the ideal timber treatment for all timber. From windows to doors, decks to floors, chairs to stairs, Colour Tone is your timber treatment of choice. When you see what a great job Colour Tone does with wood, you may be tempted to use it on your skin, but don't. Ask for Colour Tone at your nearest hardware store, preserving your wood, protecting our children. Colour Tone, the ultimate lead-free timber treatment for all wood.
Right, welcome back, everybody. It's, of course, Cape Rugby TV, and tonight is a show that's a little bit different. We are not only talking about not talking about club rugby, but we're talking about club rugby. We're talking about all the other ways of making sport work and making a club work and club rugby. And quite frankly, I think it's quite exciting. I'm dying to see what which administrators of clubs step up to the plate and make sure their club continues to function really well. But having said that, one of the ideas that came up out of the woodwork, so to speak, is Union Mill, and we're going to be going out there this weekend. Union Mill are taking on False Bay in the CrossFit Challenge. All right, so the CrossFit Challenge, this is happening on the beach, and it's happening on the box, and it's happening at the bay. So there's going to be beach activity in the form of sprints and flags and ins and outs and thrusters and relays. Right, sounds like a lot of activity. Then it's in the box. So from 9 o'clock to 10 o'clock is the sprints, the flags, the ins, the outs, the thrusts, the relays. Then from 11 o'clock to 1 o'clock, they are competing against each other in the sleds, the running, the lifting, and the rowing. And then, of course, at the bay at Constantia from 2 o'clock to 4 o'clock, There's the running, the handling, and the tackling. All right. So we're not really sure how the running, the handling, and the tackling is going to work, because you have to obviously be mindful of the sport fields. So of course that's the activity that's coming up. Muizenberg is the first venue. Union Mill against False Bay, and then Penil Villages. Well, this, folks, is some of the posters that have just come into us. Unfortunately, the things are jumping around a little bit here. Penil Villages, Golf Day is coming up. That's at the Boschemere Golf Course. That's the Friday the 9th of March at 10:30. A 4-ball, better ball, stable fit competition. The entry fee is only 3,000 Rand per 4-ball. That's 750 Rand per player, folks. That's quite reasonable nowadays if you think about the fact that it's very hard to find a golf course to play on. And if you had to pay normal green fees, you're probably paying about 500 to 700 Rand anyway. Hole sponsorships, you can sponsor the hole at 5,000 Rand. Inclusive of, if you join there, goodie bag, green fees, water holes, grab and go lunch, a dinner with a finger platter and a prize giving. So it looks like a whole lot of fun. And so many sponsors that are involved there. E2S, Rhodes, Coca-Cola, William Brothers, Footprint, The Pro Shop, Builder, Dion Wired, Cap Agri, Aquel, The Spur, and so many others. So lots of activity there. And then Hamilton's Rugby have also got their annual golf day. That's on the 16th of Feb at the Belleville Golf Course. It's a 4-ball alliance. It's a scramble drive competition and 2 scores to count. 4-ball there, 2,000 Rand. The 4-ball in the wet hole is 2,500 Rand, and the wet holes are 600 Rand. So get in touch with the guys from Hamilton's at hams@iafrica.com. 021-439-3954. Right, so let's go back to our community grid here, or at least our concept grid. The next option that we had here was beach training, and then of course the final option we're going to talk about is yoga sessions. Beach training sessions, Jerome, you mentioned earlier on. Beach training is not new. Guys have been training on the beach for years.
Yeah, and it's also a good where you can do a lot of tackle drills, because it's not so hard to fall on the. Yeah. So you can do a lot of breakdown tackle drills on the beach, not just running. So there's a lot of things you can actually do now on the beach.
From your, I mean, the guys on the Strand have been practicing on the beach stuff for a while.
Yeah, I think I just told Jerome during the break. I just said there that most of the clubs have even before, you know, when we sort of to preserve the field, they've sort of incorporated beach training into their 3 sessions a week. I know Strand United are training at the beach. I think that evening when the guys helped the camera crew, the Cape Rugby TV camera crew, they were at the beach, they were training there. So they train at the beach. I know all St. Salorians are there. I know the guys that use Muizenberg a lot. I mean, the CrossFit Challenge is starting at the beach on Saturday. So I think the beach also, it builds, sort of conditions your body to recover quicker. I think the sand does build your muscle very quick and very.
It definitely builds explosive speed, yeah.
Explosive speed, yeah. And then the water's like they do recover. So I think it's a two birds with one stone scenario.
Yeah, you don't have to shower. You just jump in the water.
Jump in the water
even more.
You can have a 4-minute bath, basically.
I suggest if you're doing it for recovery, do it at on the Clifton side.
Yeah.
You know, or the Melkbos or something on that. So it's like an ice bath. You don't worry about ice baths. You save more water. All right. Coming up on the 17th of February, though, that's this weekend, Van Zyl Street Sportgronde. This is where St. George's are travelling to Robertson. It's outside of the Cape Town boundaries. The gates are opening at 1 o'clock. There's only 10 Rand an entrance fee for adults and 5 Rand for kids. And the games are starting at 2 o'clock. There's 3 teams, and there's going to be a festival atmosphere. Lyndon, is this event still going on?
Yeah, it is.
All right. Outside of the
moratorium. Yeah, it's outside of province and the Drakensberg and the Stellenbosch municipalities. So I think St. George's. There's a few clubs that are playing in the Boland. I know Strand United are playing Grabouw. Strand League are playing Mauriceburg. I think Belleville are playing in Westbank. So I think there's a few clubs that are traveling towards the Boland area this weekend, just to be. Obviously, the news came, so now they have to move, become creative, not stop the game completely. So you sort of give up on your gate takings if your game was this weekend at your club, at your home field in the province. But now you're just playing, so you get a sort of an outing for the day. Obviously, there's a cost implication on this, but I think that there's a means to the end here.
Yeah, bigger picture.
Keep your bigger picture, kind of keep your players together and bond. It's a good bonding session for the entire club. 2 hours there, 2 hours back on the bus. There's sort of sort of create memories on the bus.
Okay, the last two things that we're going to speak about is the one was the yoga session, all right, and I like the idea that this ties in with somebody in your community, Jerome, like you said, you know, somebody in the community does do boxing, they do karate, someone can teach that, and I'm sure there's a yoga teacher around any facility that can come and beat those players up. A good little yoga session, all of these things help strengthen the ligaments, strengthen the core muscles, and by the time you get to the season itself, you need to have still retained your conditioning. So yoga, Pilates, these kind of things, doable also.
Yeah, last year is before the pre-season, or at the start of the pre-season, the Stormers they started off with Pilates and yoga.
Anybody who does a Pilates class or a yoga class, please let us know. We want to come and film that. All right, it's very funny.
Yeah, I've seen some of the big name boxers and MMA fighters and UFC fighters
falling all over.
It is in that yoga session. I've seen that. You know, obviously they want people to know about it because the general stereotype around yoga is just for the ladies. But if you see Conor McGregor in a yoga session and you see him at a fight, you'll understand why he's doing that. And the recovery time is quicker.
Did it myself, very windgat for the first 5 minutes and crying for the next half hour.
It soon brings you down, It's like the first time when you plank, you're like, I can do this, I can do this. That first 10 seconds, it's fine. That after 20 seconds, you'll realize, this is not for sissies,
And then, of course, the last thing that we desperately want to do, and this is maybe a little bit outside of the normal club rugby activity, is the implementation of the social media sponsorship workshops, which were so popular that we need to get the ball rolling again, especially in a time like this where we need to make sure that we have proper database communication, effective communication about what's coming up, calendars and diaries, and sharing the content so that we make sure that we keep the Western Province Rugby, club rugby community together now more than ever before. Lyndon, you came to many of those and you've been instrumental yourself at a club level in terms of the media sessions, but now is a perfect time. We have all the time in the world.
It's brilliant. You know, we had the community, the page, the online, the chat rooms on the Club Rugby website, sort of transition into the social media space. We didn't lose out of those people. They sort of attended those sessions. They've grown with, guys that have been there for all 4 or 5 of them over the last 6-7 years. And I think it's time that we do more so we can get the second crop of the second generation of administrators and social media activators.
Activators
going us. There's new stuff out. Social media changes every day. Anyone can pick up your phone and you can basically run your entire club's
if Jerome can do it, then
I was getting to that now. I mean, last week he did it in portrait. He did it in landscape. I mean, that video was brilliant.
Yep.
It looked like a professional guy who did it, and with everything there, I think definitely the social media side of club rugby needs to be rekindled again. Those talks that you had, and I think we can get more people involved in terms of not just your executive, but also your players and the family of the players as well.
Right, folks, I did promise you the opportunity to win yourself a Hisense phone. You needed to enter the Spot the Ball competition. The only way to spot that ball was to go to the Cape Rugby TV mobile app. All right, so the mobile app, you can win this phone. We go straight to the winner. Let's take a look there. Lyndon, Julius, and Jerome both have been guessing where the ball is for quite a while now. There you had your options, A1, A2, A3, B1, B2, B3, and C1, C2, C3. This was the Spot the Ball grid. Right, last chance, Lyndon. Not that you're going to win the phone. Where do you think the ball is?
I would say A1.
Okay.
A1.
All right, Jerome? Any idea on your side?
G1.
G1. G1. Gee whiz. All right, you're on A1. Let's quickly take another look there. We don't see a G there. A1.
C1.
C1. Yeah, you're going with C1. Yeah, okay. All right, then, Mr. Renzel Botman, show us where's the ball. The ball is there in A3.
Yeah, but that guy kicked the ball from C1. That's why the ball is there.
It's not an animated picture.
That's why the ball is there.
So, there you see it, right, folks. We've got a couple of winners here. Then, Julius, I need you to draw me a number between 1 and 6.
2.
Number 6, number two. Number two. All right, we've got the entry. It came on the mobile phone. We only got a first name, but we do have a mobile number. Jacques. Congratulations, Jacques. We're not sure of your surname, Well, I'm sure we can tell everybody next week. But you walk away with this Hisense H7 Pure Shot mobile phone.
Sharky synonym for Linden, so I think that could be my one.
Yes. Linden, thanks for joining us. It's been fantastic having you.
Thanks for always having me here, and it's always good on the show. Thanks, Jerome.
An abnormal show at the moment.
In a normal society.
Abnormal season.
Yeah.
Jerome, thanks very much. It's been a pleasure having you. We know that you took a busy day out of your Valentine's Day today.
Yeah, JP.
He's got to go make up for it now.
But no, rugby first.
Rugby.
Oh,
there's trouble there. Eh?
Oh, boy.
All right, folks. What am I doing here? That's a wrap, folks. We'll see you again next week, same time, same place. We hope that you use those creative ideas to come up with some fantastic opportunities to keep playing club rugby. We'll see you again next week, same time, same place. And as always, a fantastic rugby weekend. Bye-bye.